CBS has essentially confirmed when George Cooper will die in Young Sheldon. The Cooper patriarch's death has been one of the most anticipated plots in the prequel since it was firmly established in The Big Bang Theory. After young Sheldon reconned George's cheating scandal, effectively exonerating him from Sheldon's serious allegations, Lance Barber's character no longer has any personal arc left in the show. Still, the spinoff has done a great job making him relevant and surprisingly helpful as Sheldon prepares for postgrad. Per the official press release on Paramount Press Express, George will still be alive in Young Sheldon Season 7, Episode 12, A New Home, and a traditional Texas torture. This means that his death will have to occur in the special one-hour finale airing on May 16. For context, Young Sheldon Season 7, Episode 11, A Little Snip in Teaching Old Dogs, will air back-to-back with Episode 12 on May 9. After that, The Big Bang Theory prequel only has a single week left for its supersized finale. How George's death in the finale impacts young Sheldon's ending. George's death changes the trajectory of the Coopers' lives. The Cooper patriarch may not be a perfect father, but no one can doubt his commitment to his family, and because of that, it's easy to root for him. It shouldn't be surprising that the writers would want George to survive until the end of the show. He has become one of the best characters in Young Sheldon despite his bad image in The Big Bang Theory. The Cooper patriarch may not be a perfect father, but no one can doubt his commitment to his family, and because of that, it's easy to root for him. Killing him early on in Young Sheldon Season 7 would have meant that the show would lose his presence on the show, so the creative team delayed his death. However, deciding to push back his death closer to the Young Sheldon finale also comes with big risks. For starters, it doesn't give the show enough time to recover from the tragedy. Behind-the-scenes content suggests that the show will also feature the aftermath of his death with a funeral scene, and that could dampen the whole mood of the finale. Despite the sitcom's storytelling diversification, there's still an expectation that it will end on a lighthearted and comedic note. It is possible that George's death could dominate the finale, making it difficult to send off the Coopers happily. The reason for George's death may have been set up by Mary's upcoming change, which is that she might want another baby, thus prompting George to get a secret vasectomy. While his demise was established early on in The Big Bang Theory, the nerd-centric sitcom never really tackled the specifics of it. He should die around the time that Sheldon moves away for postgrad at 14 years old. But the reason for his demise was never discussed in the flagship series, so crafting how George passes away will finally be shown in Young Sheldon. What happens to the Coopers after George's death? The Coopers deal with George's death differently. While specifics about George's death in Young Sheldon may be unclear, details about what the future for the Coopers looks like after the tragedy were established in The Big Bang Theory. The majority of the details come from Georgie's visit ahead of Sheldon and Amy's wedding. Firstly, he revealed that he took over the family after the unexpected death of his father. This was because Mary was too grief-stricken to function, while Missy continued her dumb teenager ways, despite those seemingly getting resolved after Season 6. Meanwhile, Sheldon was oblivious to all of this. Most of the Coopers' lives after George's death will no longer play out on the screen. When Sheldon's arc started in The Big Bang Theory, it had already been far too long since he lost his father, so it barely had any impact on his day-to-day life. Things are different with Georgie, however, since he will front the next Young Sheldon sequel series with Mandy. This is one of the few established plots that the prequel will tackle on top of Georgie and Mandy's inevitable split, which was also confirmed in The Big Bang Theory. What's left of George's story in Young Sheldon? George has one final personal storyline. As Sheldon prepares to go to Caltech for postgrad, Young Sheldon's storytelling will likely revolve around the end of his time in Medford. That includes his graduation and eventual move. Meanwhile, the rest of the Coopers move on as usual, not realizing that they're approaching the end of an era in their family history. George doesn't have any more major personal arc aside from his death, but surviving until the finale allows young Sheldon to include him in some major remaining events for the family, including seeing Sheldon off to his new life in California.